What's up, guys? Randy, the REI Rockstar here. I am doing a video today to show you what not to do, some of the things not to do when you are perhaps a realtor or an investor offering a wholesale deal. Doing these particular things is going to, it's just going to make investors not want to work with you. And it's just going to put a bad taste in the mouth of even new investors who want to get into the real estate investing industry. And there's folks out there that are so-called professionals that just don't get it. They just don't get it, and that's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. This is not about bashing anyone. There's just some things that I've noticed over the past, 10 years now, since 2006, that I see on a regular basis, and it's almost like a lot of times these folks are the gatekeepers to real estate because they're trusted as professionals. But like I said, it goes both ways. So what I'm about to show you is I'm always scouring for deals, my team and myself. And there's a lot of websites out there where you can get deals from. You've got your Craigslist and all these other forums and things like that. And one of them is realestatemogul.com. So I have some VAs who take information from sites like this and place it into our Podio system, run the numbers, and then it makes it to acquisitions. Acquisitions make the offer. But this is a great deal that would not make it. This deal would not make it to our team. Period. We would kill this deal right off the bat. And let me show you exactly why. Okay. So here is a real estate professional. I'm assuming this person is a realtor. I doubt they're an investor, but they might be. So that's why I say it goes both ways. And again, this is not about bashing anyone. I just want to show you some things to look for as an investor, um, or a licensed realtor who's an investor, who may be new to this, of some things to look for. And on the flip side, if you're this type of person, maybe some things to avoid, what not to do, how to look more professional, how to really attract investors. So Real Estate Mogul, for those of you who don't know, is Preston Ely's website where you can go, you can interact, you can learn real estate, different techniques, and post deals. And what I find is that very, very often there are real estate professionals out there, both on the investment side and the realtor side, who will go to places like this, Craigslist, Real Estate Mogul, Bigger Pockets, and they'll just post a property that is not a deal whatsoever. I mean, I can look at it 50 different ways and it's not making any sense, and I'm going to show you how. So here's a property at 5306 East Calle de Baca. It's in Cave Creek, which is of north of Phoenix. It's actually north of Central Phoenix, and it's just west of True North, Scottsdale, those areas. So this is perhaps a middle class to upper middle class neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood. So right out of the gate, when everybody thinks about real estate investors, you think of what? You think of the fix and flip real estate investor. When that's what most people think of. It's if unless you're an institutional investor who invests in REITs, or perhaps an investor who deals with hedge funds. Okay, you're in the business, but when you're talking about the average person who's got a 9 to 5 and they think I'm going to invest in real estate, they typically will think of the rehab investor. Now, if you're a rehab investor and you look at this deal right off the bat, what do you think? No work needs to be done. This is already not a rehab deal. Arguably, yeah, you can probably find a distressed property in a nice neighborhood, but it takes some time. This is obviously a new build. So my skepticism rises right then, right there. Plus, realtors don't typically offer off-market deals unless they are investors themselves and they have it locked up under contract and they're offering at a discount. So you can see here, this person has chosen wholesale. So on this site, you can actually choose, is this a retail deal? Is this a wholesale deal? What do you look, and what that does is that tells us, what type of end buyer I want. So this person's saying that this is a wholesale deal. They're not looking for a tenant buyer, which I would have given some slack for, but supposedly this is a deal that you can get and perhaps make money on. This is an investment website. It's a 3.3, 2,400 square foot on a decent lot. The ARV, in other words, the after repair value, is 490, and I believe that. I'll show you the report I did here. When I first saw the deal, I thought to myself, this is that typical. I'm a real estate professional, supposedly. I'm just going to put it on a site and see if there are any, for lack of professional terms, suckers out there, right? Somebody who's new to the industry, who puts trust in these professionals supposedly about their evaluation of a property, right? So I realize there's some, fiduciary responsibility, but I mean, how far does that go? Um, here's why I'm not looking at this property in terms of a good investment. I'm going to show you something. So right off the bat, run my comps on it. Okay. So this property was purchased December of 2012. December of 2012. Okay. The homeowner bought it for 415,000. Okay. So what is that? From 415 to 449. Okay. Well, it's got some a little. It gained a little bit of equity from the marketplace, which makes sense after the crash. Phoenix came back pretty strong. Okay, so that also tells me the homeowner probably did not put any money into the home, which grants even more equity above and beyond the 449 that they're asking. But my software says it's worth, and we're 90% sure here, it's worth about 466. Okay, that's not a wholesale deal. There is no specific chart or number that determines what a wholesale deal is, but arguably I'm looking for a 15% discount if it's a buy and hold situation with $100 to $500 cash flow at the door, or a 15 to 30 or 40% discount if it's going to be some type of rehab or prehab or wholesale deal. That's not the case here. It just isn't. I mean, even at an ARV of 493, you're going to have to be in the 300s right off the bat, minus potential repairs, I guess. And this happens time and time again where there's a new build in Phoenix somewhere, and this template can fit in any major market, your Atlanta, your Vegas, your San Diego, your Chicago, um, where it's just a newer build home. The realtor gets it, the homeowner's slightly motivated, or some situation is causing them to move, be it foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, mom or dad passed away, illness, the typical motivated seller stuff. And that realtor goes, oh, I'm brilliant. I'm going to go and post this, and investors are going to come and buy this property. No, no, they're not. Not the sophisticated ones. The ones who were new, and everybody was new. I was new at one time in 2006 to 2008 when I spun tires for 2 years, when I would trust these so-called real estate professionals with my deals, and I lost a lot of deals. And unfortunately, some homeowners lost their homes as well, um, because I would say, hey, yeah, I'm an investor. I'm not going to purchase your property. I'm a bird dog, and I would give them to a so-called real estate expert who's a short sale expert, right? My first 7, 8, 9 deals that I got from generating, leads from my website would go to these so-called professionals, and they went nowhere. No, not just for myself, but what about that homeowner? That was the whole reason why I started in this industry was I had trouble with my own personal residence, and I actually did get assistance from an investor, and so I wanted to do that. So for those of you who are out there, realtors, please learn how to run comps properly. Take a class on it. Do what you have to do. Same for investors. Learn how to run your comps properly. Hang out with an appraiser. Ask questions. Get better. If this is your profession, get better at what you do, because there are homeowners' lives on the lines. Their financial future is on the line when they're a distressed homeowner, and you want to do what's best for them. Period. You don't want to be under the microscope of the AG. You don't want to be, in some type of lawsuit, be it in your own name or your corporation or your broker's name. Find out what's going on with the homeowner and figure out if the MLS is going to be best for them or not. And if you happen to have a couple investors in your back pocket, be honest with the homeowner and say, hey, look, your house is worth 466, but because of your situation, you have enough equity, you need to liquidate. And this is why this is going to work. Okay. Um, so check this out. So, okay, let's assume supposedly there's a wholesale deal. So let's get back to the numbers here. So it's worth 466. Okay, she's selling it for 449. Not a big discount. That's real estate commissions right there. That's real estate commissions, closing costs, potential holding cost. How is a so-called rehab investor ever going to get involved in this deal? They're not. Even if the rehab was $2,500, it's just not going to happen. Let's take a look at, let's see here, see if I can pull up my calculator. let's take a look at the rent rate. So the rent rate on this property, so I took the time to pull up a Zillow before the vid here. The rent rate on the property is about 2,500 bucks a month, right? Okay, that's going to earn you about a 4% cap rate. Now, I realize that not a lot of folks as investors look for cap rates on single family. It's typically in the commercial side and those kind of things, apartment complexes. But you can use it as a measure, at least some of my buyers do. And if you look at the cap rate for this particular property, it's not very good. At $2,500 over 12 months, gross cash flow is $30,000. If you minus out the typical maintenance, management, that kind of stuff, you're looking to net about 21,000 a year. Well, the mortgage alone is going to eat that up. So 21,000, by the way, divided by your purchase price of 449,000, cap rates at 4%, 4.6%, less than 5. That's nothing. You might as well buy a $130,000 property anywhere in Phoenix right now. Any 3-2, 130,000 all day. Peoria, 3-2s, getting you 1,050 to 1,500 a month cash flow, gross cash flow based on or gross rent, sorry, based on the area and the condition. So yeah, and that remaining 21,000, by the way, if you go by their estimated refi, this isn't even rates based on, this is a homeowner's refi, but if you're an investor as an investment home, you're going to get some points for that. A secondary home, points for that. Hard money, okay, off the chart payment every month. But let's assume it's just this 1,650 a month times 12 a year. Now look at your 21,000. So your 4% cap becomes less than 1% or negative if the payment's higher because you bought it as a investment property, as a wholesale deal that this seller is wanting to sell this to you for. Don't make that mistake. And again, guys, this is not about bashing anybody. It's just about education. It's about getting out there, understanding what investors are looking for. There's a couple of simple things that investors look at to make sure they're making a good decision, and you as a realtor or a wholesaler or another type of investor should understand those things. What this person probably should have done is sold this as and I don't know the homeowner situation, but some type of lease option deal or something like that with a down payment of 25,000 or 30,000 and sold it that way so all parties are happy. Not try to put it on the off-market situation like this and get some investor who's new to the game and try to sell them this property. I mean, how is this an investment? If I purchase this for 449 or 439, I'm going to lose money, for sure. I mean, look what my software says. I have to purchase a minimum of 389. Investors buy a minimum for 389 in this neighborhood for all different types of investment purposes. Distressed properties go for less than 400. Okay, so my actual offer would have been around 345 if it was a wholesale deal. That's assuming no repairs, by the way. You can see if I scroll over just a hair, that is a gross profit of a whopping $100 if I bought for 345. Okay, with an ARV of 493. Even a buy and hold situation doesn't yield a whole lot more. 396 would be the maximum allowable offer. And again, that's assuming no repairs. It just doesn't make any sense, guys. A new build that was recently purchased on a website as an investment for 449, no matter how I've sliced it, it just doesn't make sense. So I wanted to do this video to show investors, whether new or intermediate, what are those telltale signs of a deal? I call it killing the deal. Get out there, look at a property. If it's a new build, if that's not your buying criteria, then just don't even look in that direction. You don't have a buying criteria, figure it out. I've done a video about how to analyze a marketplace anywhere in the US, how to find the market, how to look at cash transactions, how to find the median sales price, so that all investments, whether you take it down as a rehab or a buy and hold, you're in the right number. Because these $400,000 properties, it's just not going to happen unless you're doing a short sale. So I hope you've enjoyed this training video, guys. Again, get out there, talk to as many people as you can, and make offers. Have yourself a great day and take care.